All right, so I need to keep doing this until I actually get this recording right. Um, we are talking about Paladin Mash. I know I'm like super late to this, but I need to have all these videos out before I do the tier list anyway. So yeah. First off, I want to say this video is not specifically talking about farming with Mash. This is about like her as the character. I'll touch on characters she farms well with, but if you want much more in depth, go watch Plushy Mistress's video on Mash. Like he does it like better, and his calcs will be consistent with his calcs. I'm not doing calcs for this because like trying to calc for Mash is going to be a fucking headache. So again, we are only talking about Paladin Mash. For the tier list, I'll go back and talk about how zero cost Mash can go to Bond 15. You can get her to be a 45% Bond bonus while you're doing main story if you manage to get her Bond 15. Awesome. We're only talking about Paladin today. Otherwise, like the last recording, this is going to be like 40 minutes. I don't think anyone wants to watch another 40-minute video. Like, why would you watch my 40-minute video when you can go watch plushies? My thought process on it. So, Paladin Mash, base attack, 10.8k. Would we like this to be higher? Yep, but we would prefer this HP to be far higher. Mash is one of those super, super tanky characters. Arguably as tanky, if not tankier than Shineko. I would say Mash has probably more effective HP. Effective meaning mixing in the amount of damage percentage, damage cuts that Mash is able to mitigate versus, say, Jineko, who has the highest base HP in the entire game by a long shot. But yeah, Mash is easily as tanky as Jineko, if not more tanky. Star weight, Star Gen, these are normal Mash numbers. MP charge 0.84%. With these hit counts, not great, but if she's anchoring, this matters far less because she's just going to get hit so many times. She's just spamming the MP if she needs it. But yeah, don't expect like this to be don't expect this to be making miracles like Modern Serpents. She's stuck in year 1. So, again, I'm glad this is not the first take, because the first take I was definitely looking, because this site or Mash's page has changed after OC4. They completely, no, actually I think they had it like this, but this was not by itself. I think I was looking at Atlas and didn't even look at it on this page. But so Mash in her 5-star form, I would say is on par with Waver. In fact, they have a lot of the same shit. AoE 20, defense for the entire party. I believe Waver's is higher, but Mash has their own things to make this go up higher. But this is just from the skill. 30% attack. I believe Waver also has damage cut with it. No, damage plus, not damage cut. Crit damage, 30%. Waver's is 50. So yeah, this is a super like. This is like basically like most of Waver's kit on a single skill. If that doesn't say it's almost time for Waver to get a buff, I don't know what is, but if Waver's gonna get a buff, like he's gotten one before. He's got a full rework before, so it's not outside the realm of possibility, but that's what I'm putting Mash up against. Non-farming Mash is a targeted 50% charge. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's DPS Mash. But yeah, second skill. Invul for one ally, invincibility for everyone else, and a targeted 30. So if you do not have Waver, Reigns, any other like charging support that like would help you loop, besides using like Castoria, Scotty, either like you don't have them, you can't use them, or they actually would hurt more to use than Mash. Like using Vitch when the servant is not Buster and you're not doing fighting man attribute is just a 50 battery that might let you double pop or might not. Like if your DPS's skills are too long cooldown, like the Vitch might not even do anything. While this mash would at least provide you with attacking crit damage. So again, she is someone that can fit whatever mold you really need her to, especially at this point. Sustain, farming support, DPS, solo tank, anchor. Like I could, pretty much the only thing she's not doing is like debuffing, and like card buffing. It's like, at that point, like, too much. Not every servant is gonna do every single fucking role. This is not Honkai where they're trying to make every single character do every fucking role. Do I like Honkai? Yeah. I see the fucking problems in that game. Don't get me wrong. But when you play a game, you kind of agree to play by the game master's rules. But yeah, like this character is the type of character that is going to like actually raise the bar for the base level of the game. If everyone has access to a character like this, and they also have access to Habitat, which would enable this character to farm, there's far less reasons for them actually to not ramp up the difficulty. Because if no one's strong, something super weak will seem strong. If everyone's strong, you need something stronger for people to feel strong, right? Like it's like Demeter. Fighting Demeter for the first time is a nightmare for people. They didn't know what to do. But if we fought Demeter now, that thing would get its ass kicked so fucking hard, it's not even funny. As time goes on, you get stronger. That's growth. That's what growth is. So I see this character as FGO saying the game is like getting modern. If we're releasing an actual 5-star worthy servant for free. Third skill, taunt for herself for 1 turn, MP gen for 1 turn at 400%. I believe this is the same one the OG Mash had. Yep. Basically the same skill, but the taunt leveled up. One more thing for this skill. Yeah. So OG Mash. This taunt was just was leveled. It's not like that now. The MP gain, that's leveled. That's the same. But the extra part, you get 10 stars every time you get attacked. She puts a taunt on herself for 1 turn. She's gonna get 30 stars. But this part does last after the taunt. So if she is solo, that is 30 stars per turn every turn, as long as the enemy is attacking. There are servants that are obviously are gonna pop buffs, so this is not consistent, but it like consistent like 20 is better than not having any consistently, right? Okay, passives. We'll touch on this when we go touch on the MP. 20% debuff res, good baseline. Quick up 6%. Only has 1 quick card, so womp. This passive only active during the main story, but from what I understand, it does stack with this. So if you manage to get your Mash Bond 15 before we start moving on to the next story chapter, yeah, you're going to have 45% Bond bonus from just putting the 0-cost Mash in your party. Do you guys remember what the total amount of bond points we could get running all CEs used to be? I'm pretty sure that was 45%, if not 35 consistently. So Mash by herself could beat out the entire bond bonus people were getting like years ago, just by being on the party. Isn't that best Kohai? Oh, BB is not going to take that well. Oh well. Make her work harder. Next, we have 2 passives unique only to Paladin, so the other 2 mashes do not get this. Territory defense. If the damage you take is over 1,000, it hard caps it at 1,000. Lasts for your entire party. So, I want to put this in perspective that is, again, Honkai related. This is Castor's passive, but better. Because Castor's passive, if one servant, you only get that once, number one. This, again, just like Castor's passive, if the whole team would take more than 1,000, you lose one stack, everyone takes 1,000. If one person is about to take more than 1,000, use up the stack, that one person is capped at 1,000. However, the way MASH actually works, if your defense is so fucking high, you're pretty much only supposed to be taking chip damage. You're not supposed to be even using these stacks until MASH is like so low HP, and in which case you should be healing back up so that you have these safety nets. If you're able to get MASH by herself as an anchor, this becomes even stronger because now other servants aren't going to take her charge. MASH has to die. MASH has to take more than 1,000 damage to lose this. And when we go into, because right now it's only showing the 20% defense and the damage cut of 1,000. She gets way more if you're spamming her arts MP and you don't, or you're spamming her arts MP at a 3-turn cadence and you're popping the Buster one whenever you can. Like, you can spam it a little more if your stars are a little better. But pure supportive MASH, like, she is going to be so goddamn hard to kill. Something to note, if your whole party gets wiped and you bring them back, you would notice this in the final boss of OC4. That fight is, if you're not doing that fight right, it is going to take forever and you're going to have to reset. But yeah, you do not get these stacks. They're only for the entire fight. You do not get a reset. So be aware of that before you do a revive. If you revive thinking you're going to get more stacks, not going to happen. Pens. MASH needs pen 2 and definitely a pen 3 if you plan on doing DPS farming. It gives you just so much more options. There's no reason not to get this. You should have the coins for it. Because again, unlike 5 stars, there was 2 missions, Camelot and Avalon Lost Belt 6, where you can farm up servant coins for MASH by doing challenges. After you get these 2, that's the point I'd say is just start working to 120. Yeah, like MASH honestly is one of those characters that you can go to 120 and not feel bad about it if you don't have, like, you might not have the Bond Grails, or not Bond Grails, Holy Grails to do it, but I feel it should be in your mind because of how strong the servant is. Because again, when Plushie was going over the numbers were consistent with MP5 Melusin, MP5 Tonalico, MP5 Orquid. Other servants, I believe, using Black Rail, but again, I do not know the exact numbers Plushie was using. I don't want to make assumptions. Do not take what I just said as gospel that MP3 MASH is equal in every single scenario to MP5, Melusin, Tonalico, Arquid. Not what I'm saying. I'm saying in whatever conditions Plushie was using, that was the damage she was getting. So, MP, Arts 1, Protected MASH, damage cut 1750 for 3 turns. Debuff immune 1 time 3 turns. 30% attack charisma. And if you're fighting threat to humanity, 50% MP damage for the party. Like, multi-core MASH, tank MASH, sustain MASH, whatever you want to call it. This is fucking stupid. You pair this with Tomomo and you're not dying. You're not dying because the OC is defense. Tomomo likes defense. Tomomo likes defense a lot. And Tomomo also would like to be popping at a 3-turn cadence. Tomomo's cadence is different, but like you can easily time Tomomo's cadence to fit with this MASH, like very, very easily. Yeah, I think it would be 2 Tomomos, but I would have to be playing around, and I really just have not had the time over the last few months. I've kind of been like hanging onto a rope, like literally tight walking to get through the last few months to get to my breaks, just so I have more time. So yeah, this summer I'm literally just taking the time to get everything done. So during the work year, I'm less stressed the fuck out and actually get sleep consistently. So yeah, OC is defense. If you can get the defense up, oh my god, because you can also run Mash with a defense CE, so that she's just base inherently more tanky. When I last recorded this video, it was like Mash hitting like 80% defense along with the damage cut. At that level, you're not dying. At that level, you can't be dying unless the enemy is like specifically designed to fuck up Mash like that. So, after popping this MP, you get the Holy Sword charging buff for 3 turns. This is actually really 2 because you can't pop the MP again that turn. This affects the MP and turns it into a different one, like Alco. So yeah, it says 3 turns. It's really 2. It transforms the skill 2 into the other one, and you reduce second skill cooldown by 5. So even if you're not using Mash as a DPS, you bring this down 8 minus 5 is 3. You have Solemn Defense for 1 ally for a whole turn, not hit base, a whole turn, and invo for the party on a 3-turn cooldown as long as Mash can keep the arts up. As long as she can keep her MP on that 3-turn cadence. Again, like, this character is so fucking good for being free. And the fact that they, like, it's literally taking what Mash already had and just making her, like, more offensive. This is, like, the solution. If this is what, like, if more characters are like, because we've been seeing more characters like this too, since Ordeal Call. If Port 3 has characters that are just completely unique, and it's not like the cookie cutter shit that we've been getting, like Indra, him getting battery from healing is so cool. That shit is awesome. That's what I'd be expecting from Honkai. That's a Honkai like character design, not FGO. FGO's has been basic. Their most innovative thing has been super effective. While Honkai is like literally every single fucking patch they're making new mechanics. Is it annoying? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you're a casual player, it's annoying to keep up with Honkai for how quickly it changes. FGO, the change is far less drastic. But yeah, that's just different games, different strokes. So upgraded skill 2 increases MP damage for 3 turns 100%. Something Plushy noted in his video. Because of this skill 2, if you have Black Girl, you might be better off putting it on whoever is MPing turn 1, because she has this. This is more than Black Girl. This is 25% more than MOB Black Girl. Obviously, she's not getting the attack buff, but that's different conversation. Like, give her with Black Girl with Oberon. Goes. It's like 420% MP damage buff. Like, you're getting like stupid levels. It's really, really good that Mash has an attack buff of her own. If she would be getting that heavily weighted towards MP damage, the Vitch, the one Vitch, and the Oberon would give her the buster buff that she need to actually get shit done. If you're not good at math, I'm sorry, but this is gonna be painful for you because you need to know your 4 times tables. I'm sorry, you gotta go back to 3rd grade math. Gotta go practice those timetables just like my 3rd graders. But yeah, quick TLDR, 25 stars equals 100 battery, because 25 times 4 is 100. Or, 4 quarters make $1. Just flip it around. But yeah, I know. I get it enough for my students that people don't like math. You do 2,000 damage to yourself, though. So this is why I'm saying, like, even sustain mash, you need to run command codes to heal, or you need to run someone like Tomomo to heal. Otherwise, mash would lower, like, the longer the fight goes, Mash's HP would slowly just whittle down to the point that once her passive is gone, she'll just die. It would take a very, very long time for that to happen, but it would eventually happen nonetheless. So yeah, if you can give her some kind of healing, preferably command codes, especially if she's anchoring, or run a Tamamo, you're not going to be concerned about this. She's not dying. And finally, Buster MP. Ignores invincibility for 1 turn. Ignores defense for 1 turn. Damage to all enemies. If you're fighting threat to humanity, you do double damage flat out. And at the end of all... Oh, we're not done yet before this part. Buster up, 20% base up to 40. So again, even without Vich and Oberon... Or no, you're still using Vich and Oberon, but you're getting the Buster. You have 20 attack, 20 Buster, crit damage, all from her own kit. Last part removes all their buffs. And this is an AoE MP that is on a 3-turn cadence too. This character is great. They did a really, really good job of upgrading Mash from level 1 Crook to level 99 Mafia boss. Because this is like boss level shit. Bonds the E, because now she finally has this unlocked. 30% attack and a guts. Again, why you would give Black Rail to someone else? Because this attack buff would help Mash more than the MP damage buff. And a guts on Mash, on any Mash. Because remember, this does not just apply to Paladin Mash. The Bond CE would also apply to this version of Mash that is super, super defense spamming, damage cut spamming. It would work for this one too. So giving this one a guts, giving Ordinox a guts, especially because they have 2 taunts. Although the guts kind of screws with that, but that's also why the invincibility is there. Because it also stops that from getting messed up. Awesome for that. But yeah. Paladin Mash. This is the second take I did of this, and somehow I managed to cut out 18 minutes. So it just shows how much fucking yapping I was doing. And how scatterbrained I was. Next video is definitely Indra. Hopefully we get more buffs. I really want at least 2 more buffs in July. To go with Indra, but beggars can't be choosers. I would like the tier list to just be moved a little bit more, but that update video is already going to be, isn't it April, May, June, and now July? I got to get better at that. All right, I'll see you guys. Peace. Okay, holy shit. In my rush to actually start streaming this video out, I actually forgot to talk about how you actually do farming with Mash. So, you run a self-sacrifice unit, and if I mentioned it in the recording, sorry, I just want to have just this farming part in its own separate part. So, you run someone that can move on to the next wave in turn 1 while popping Mash's MP before that MP. I say it like that because you don't necessarily need a self-sacrifice. It's just self-sacrifice will let you go with lower party costs. But you can just use multi-core. Phantasm Moon brings up... Plushy Mistress brings up how good Phantasm Moon is for Mash, because Mash is a living human. Phantasm Moon would be giving Mash like free batteries, so it would be a lot easier, especially after, I believe it's after the MP. Or that might be OG Arquid. I'm not looking right now. But yeah, MP wave 1 with another character. Wave 2 kind of depends on Mash. You would want her to be popping that second skill turn 2 if possible. If not, you bring Vich and Oberon for turn 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't want to do the Vich battery. No, sorry, you don't want to pop this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't pop second skill on turn 2. You save that for turn 3, specifically because Coin Sky, she needs to pop the battery. Okay, so this is the whole reason I actually didn't want to do a video break down Mash's actual farming, and why I'm telling you to go watch Blushy. I haven't farmed with Mash like this, and it's different based on appends. It really is something you play around to figure the combinations, but if you want the shortcut, go watch Blushy. All right, now it is officially time to stream. I gotta make breakfast and coffee now. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.